I opened my eyes and groaned. The light from the window lit up the room. Rolling over to face the wall, I shut my eyes and attempted to go back to sleep. Sadly, I couldn't. The room was bright enough that I could see the sun from behind my eyelids. Sighing, I opened my eyes and glanced around the room. Jack was in bed next to me sleeping peacefully. Not far from where he lay was the window. Since the blinds were angled down, it made it so the light streamed directly in. I frowned. Seriously, I could have gotten more sleep. Rolling out of bed, I shuffled over to the dresser and turned on my phone to see the time. I was greeted with the lovely time of 7:10. I'm on vacation and I wake up at 7:10. How lovely. I was hoping to sleep in. Stupid son. Grumbling, I placed my phone back down and went over to my bag, pulled out some clothes, and my travel bag, and headed to the shower. As I showered, I began to debate what I wanted for breakfast. I could make something. We brought eggs and pancake mix, but we also brought milk and cereal. I feel lazy, I'll eat cereal. When I finished my shower, I turned off the water and stepped out. Quickly grabbing my towel, I dried myself off and began to change. Today's fashion choice was jean shorts and my gray blondie t-shirt. After getting dressed, I collected my things and exited the bathroom. I quietly dumped my stuff back in my bag, grabbed my phone and book, and headed to the kitchen. I set my things down and began scouring the cabinets for the cereal. In all honesty, I wasn't paying attention to where we put the food, so I had no idea where everything was. As I searched the cabinets, I found everything except for the cereal. I know we brought it. Where is it? I finally found the cereal boxes shoved in the back of a cabinet. Who put that there? That's the worst place. Shaking my head, I pulled the boxes out from the cabinet and placed them on the counter. We had brought strawberry Cheerios, honey bunches of oats, cinnamon toast crunch, and Life. I didn't want something sugary, so cinnamon toast crunch was off the table. I ate honey bunches of oats yesterday, so I don't want that again. Which leaves Life and the strawberry Cheerios. I stared at my two options. Do I want something fruity or something that isn't? The choice was easy. I felt fruity today. I put the other boxes back in the cabinet and opened the box of Cheerios. I poured my cereal into the bowl and added the milk, grabbed silverware, and then I went over to the table. I sat down, said a prayer, and began to eat. As I ate, I began to look at my notifications. The first one was a suggestion from YouTube. I swiped that one away and checked the next one. It was just Pinterest. I swiped away. I continued to scroll through my notifications. Most of them were from apps until I got to one saying I got a text from my sister Astrid, not long after I had gotten in the shower. I tapped on the notification and read the message. Did you get to the cabin safely? I smiled. Of course, she would check up on me. Yep. I replied. We arrived at 3:40. I didn't have to wait long before she responded. Glad to hear. It would be a shame if I had to tell Jack that his uncle died in a car crash because of his reckless driving. I almost choked on my cereal when I saw the last part of the message. Placing my spoon down, I quickly typed back my response. I am a very good driver. Besides, if anyone would have gotten us in an accident, it would have been Ella because she's the one who drove us. Astrid just sent a laughing, crying face. It's not funny. I texted. It is. She replied. The only people who get defensive about their driving skills are bad drivers. I groaned. Did you know you can be annoying sometimes? I asked. Yeah. Astrid replied. You might have mentioned that once or twice before. I smiled and typed out my response. Good. I just had to remind you. What would I do without you? She responded. I don't know. I replied. Probably make horrible fashion choices. Astrid sent a laughing, crying face. That is true. I would have died in high school if it wasn't for you. Yes, you would. Your fashion sense was horrible, I told her. It was. She agreed. I have to go wake up the kids. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye, I replied. I exited my messages and checked the time. 8 o'clock. Well, Jack or Anna might be up soon. Ella will probably sleep till 10, maybe 11. I grabbed my empty bowl and spoon and walked over to the sink and washed it. Then I dashed to the bathroom and brushed my teeth, grabbed my book from the table, and went over to the couch. Settling down on the couch, I opened up my book and picked up where I left off. I had been reading for a while before Anna finally emerged from her room. "Morning, Luke," she greeted groggily. "Morning," I hummed. "How did you sleep?" "I slept pretty well," Anna replied while rubbing her eyes, "but it's nothing like my bed." I nodded. "Makes sense, nothing can beat the bed you're used to sleeping in." I heard cabinets opening in the kitchen. Glancing up from my book, I saw Anna was searching for something. "What are you looking for?" I asked. "Two things," Anna replied. "One the coffee and two the cereal." "Ah," I said, "I know where the cereal is, and I know where we stashed the Keurig, but not the K-cups." Placing my bookmark in the book, I walked over to the kitchen and showed Anna where the cereal was. She grabbed one of the boxes and placed it on the counter. I went over to another cabinet, grabbed the Keurig, and placed it on the counter. "Now we just need to find the K-cups," I said. "Didn't we leave those in the bag we brought for the food?" Anna asked. I shrugged. "Maybe. I'll check." She hummed, going over to the cabinet where we put the brown paper bag we brought our food in. She pulled out the bag, placed it on the counter, and checked inside it. "Found it," she cheered. "Can you fill the Keurig with water, please?" I rolled my eyes. "Sure." I grabbed a mug from the cabinet and filled it with water. I opened the compartment where the water goes, poured it inside, then repeated the process until I had reached the max fill line. "Thank you," Anna said. "No problem," I replied. As Anna started her coffee, I went back over to the couch and continued to read my book. Not long after I sat down, I heard the sound of the bathroom door opening and the shower turning on. Looks like Jack was up. I continued to sit on the couch and read as my friends went about their morning. By the time I finished reading, it was around 10 and Ella had finally emerged from her room. "Look who's up," I said, setting down my book. Ella glared at me and headed towards the coffee. I chuckled, grabbed my phone, and headed to the front porch to enjoy the fresh air and watch some YouTube. I had quite a few videos to catch up on, and now was the perfect time to do it. As I watched an art video, I noticed that other people were coming out of their cabins. Some were sitting on their porches while others headed off to do activities. I wonder what we're gonna do today. We probably won't do anything until after lunch, considering that Ella still needed to get ready and everyone else would be getting hungry for lunch soon. Turning my attention back to the video, I continued to watch Mariah paint her wall. After I finished the video, I checked the time. It was 10:30. Getting up from the chair I sat in, I went back inside the cabin. I found Jack sitting on the couch reading and Anna lying on the floor playing Temple Run. "Has Ella eaten breakfast yet?" I asked. "Yep," Anna replied. "She just got in the shower." I nodded and then made my way over to Jack and I's room. I opened the door and flopped down on the bed. Half of me wanted to go to sleep while the other half wanted to go do something. I was tired of reading, and I had caught up on all the videos I needed to watch. I could watch a movie, but I didn't feel like sitting through something 2 hours long. Then a brilliant idea popped into my head. I could watch Equestria Girls. That wasn't too long. I opened YouTube and quickly put it in the search bar and pressed go. The results immediately came up. I grinned. It may seem childish, but Equestria Girls was my childhood. I decided to watch Rainbow Rocks because it's my favorite. I pressed on the video and hit play. Halfway through the beginning credits, Jack walked in. As soon as Jack heard the music, he gasped and rushed over to the bed. "You're watching Rainbow Rocks without me." "Scooch over." I scooched over and propped my phone up so both of us could see. "I can't believe you were gonna watch this without me," Jack Whisperer yelled. "Sorry," I whispered. "Now be quiet, it's starting." We continued to watch the movie in silence. Even though I had watched this movie thousands of times, it was still entertaining. The movie was almost over when Ella burst into the room. "You guys alive in here?" she asked. Jack and I turned and shushed her. "We're at the exciting part, be quiet." Ella raised her hands in surrender. "Geez, sorry, what are you watching?" Jack shushed her again. Ella rolled her eyes and peeked over my shoulder. You guys are watching Rainbow Rocks. Ella shouted. Not a second after Ella shouted that, Anna came thundering into the room. What? Anna yelled. Be quiet. Jack yelled. It's the final battle. Scooch over. Ella demanded, making room for herself and Anna on the bed. Soon all four of us were crammed on the bed watching the movie on my phone. Once the movie ended, Ella turned and glared at Jack. We told you to go get him so we could go do something. Then you disappear and we find you two watching Rainbow Rocks. Sorry. Jack apologized. I saw him watching it and kinda forgot. Ella rolled her eyes. Of course you did. How long have you been out of the shower? I asked. About an hour and a half, Ella replied. Oh, I said, you've been out for a while. Ella nodded. Yep. What time is it now? Jack asked. 11:43. Anna hummed. I say we eat some lunch and then figure out what to do. Sounds like a plan, we all agreed.